because of this, huge opportunity that we were all looking at to go to a charrette process was a key ingredient for the whole project.
With the amount of acreage that we have an opportunity here not only to help the city of La Crosse, but the entire Coulee region.
The charrette is the centerpiece of the process, but 2/3 of the effort actually is in the prep for these charrettes.
There's the same amount of effort up front, but the public piece is not 12 months.
Every month we had a series of informational meetings. We're in the community, we're eating in the community, we're recognized, we actually became part of the community over the months ramping up to this.
The SEH planning team was here for 3 months to get people engaged and excited and ready to go for the week-long process.
And one of the hallmarks of the NCI process is that you want to have sort of 3 feedback loops. So you sort of go through an early process, middle to final.
The charrette process was a really good answer for us because it really compresses that schedule into a week, and people are engaged pretty intensively for a week.
So the charrette started on a Wednesday morning. We all got down onto the river with our committee and our team and took a boat ride.
It's a waterfront. We wanted to see the site from the river, so we actually went on a boat with the steering committee, went up and down the river past the site, and kind of gained that perspective. At the end of that day, we have an opening night presentation and did 2 different working sessions. One was sort of taking some of the key opportunities, with things like improved connectivity, for example, and working with the residents and participants to actually, on maps, show where you want to do that. So we also played a game called Mixopoly. We had people with sort of game pieces of different development types and streams and trails and things like that, and we're able to sort of build physical models. And that first night was an important kind of one of those first feedback loops because they actually worked through some of the hard issues.
I was so happy that the public had so many different ways that they could input into the process, roll up their sleeves and draw on maps and attend meetings.
If we're going to put city dollars and infrastructure to it, that plan has to be endorsed by the community.
The next day, then we summarized everything we heard, started talking about development frameworks.
Kind of roll in the day 2 with a lot of great ideas. We synthesized those down to 8 different alternatives that we were able to put those up, open house setting, and people were able to give us feedback of what they liked and like, which helped us take the 8 down to 3.
The third day, then we started developing design alternatives.
While that's all going on, we actually have an illustrator who did nothing but draw 3D illustrations of key scenes that were part of the plan.
So the sort of middle part of the charrette is where we do a lot of fighting and negotiating and whining and crying and drawing and arguing and
then working again with the steering committee, another feedback loop was able to take the 3 down to 1.5 to 2. And then with the last feedback loop with the steering committee, we were able to kind of get it down to the 1.
And the really fun part of this is we had about 7 people from city staff who were embedded with our team.
I say there were public meetings and feedback loops. The studio was open. So public came into the studio. The steering committee was in the studio. So you had people throughout the period coming in and giving you feedback. Everywhere you were in town for that week was part of the charrette. Right, we were at breakfast one morning, and we were talking about some elements, and 3 people came over to us and started, had an opinion on it.
But in terms of the outcome, I think just seeing that happen over the last 4 days of the charrette, of various iterations that come to fruition.
At the end, you get that document that everybody's been involved in, that wanted to be at least, and that they can all put their hands on and go, yeah, this is a really good product. So I think that's why we went that route, and we were very happy with it and plan to use it again in the future.
The community has been extremely supportive. A lot of the people have been coming to meetings constantly, so they're back tonight. And we're going to celebrate, and they're signing their plans.
We signed it. Obviously, we were very proud of it, but to have our signatures along with residents of La Crosse and elected officials and all those stakeholders was a huge moment, and I think it really is proof that the process was the right process.
So I was very happy. I still hear a lot of very positives about the whole charrette process and all the players, including SEH.